Hello students, welcome to online classes of geography of class 12. This is my 7th chapter of your fundamentals of human geography. I have decided I'll complete this book first and then I'm going to start with the Indian chapter. Now this is my first class for your chapter number 7 named Tertiary and Quaternary Activities. Now the topics that I am going to discuss today, number 1 is the features of tertiary activities and different types of tertiary activities. Now let us proceed with the first. Now features of tertiary activity, it is given over here, but let me just define what does the term tertiary activity means. Now the tertiary activity means these are those services which are different from production of materials and which do not process or manufacture goods directly, okay, which does not process or manufacture goods directly. So what can be the basic, in simple language, what can be the basic features of tertiary activities, which is basically concerned with intangible outputs. Now I am also performing a tertiary activity, I am also producing something, I am delivering a lecture, I am disseminating knowledge. So that means I am concerned with intangible outputs. That includes a large diversity of the services. And then tertiary activities are not involved in material production like that of the manufacturing. And it is very difficult to measure the output of tertiary activity. Now how will you measure that how much content of the knowledge I have delivered? The measurement is very difficult. So these are some basic characteristics of the tertiary activities, and the features of the tertiary according to the economic point of view that is mentioned over here is the tertiary sector involves the supplying of services. It involves the supplying of services to consumers and business, then provide services to the general population and business including retail, sale, transportation, restaurants. Types of worker sector includes restaurant, then accountants, pilots, even we teachers are there as a tertiary workers. Frequency of the tertiary activity indicates the matured period of the economic activity. Obviously it is a matured period. Why? Because now here everything is related to the service, everything is related to the knowledge, intellectuals. Now in developing countries, we all know that very few people work in tertiary sector. It is nearly about 10%. And in developed countries, the most people, that is 65 average worker, is in the tertiary sector. Now tertiary sector indicates a competition. When we are there more in the tertiary sector, then that means it indicates a competition in the international business sector. Okay. Now next it is we are having the different types of tertiary sector or the tertiary activities. Now tertiary sector, or what we can say, term it as a service sector. It is termed as a service sector. So you can see, as it is termed as a service sector, it is classified into 3: tertiary activities, quaternary activities and quinary activities. Now today I will discuss about the tertiary activities. Now tertiary activities is divided into 4: trade and trade system, trade and commerce is there, transportation is there, communication is there, and other service sector is there. So let us proceed to the first topic, that is trade. Now the trade is divided into basically 2: wholesale trade and retail trade. Now what is wholesale trading? Now the wholesale trading means what? The wholesale trading means the that constitute a bulk business through numerous intermediate merchants and supply houses and not through retail shops. That is actually wholesale trading means. And what is retail trading? Retail trading means the service in the business activity which is concerned with the direct sale of goods to the consumer. In the wholesale, the direct connectivity with the consumer is not there, but in the retailer, the consumers are directly connected with the shops or the selling goods. So the retailers are basically connected with the consumers directly and wholesalers are not. Rather, wholesalers are there with the intermediary. Now we are having, that is wholesale and the retail. Now before going to this wholesale and retail, let me just proceed with the marketing centers. There are two marketing centers also, rural marketing centers and the urban marketing centers. Now what is rural marketing center? Now the rural marketing centers are periodic markets, and these are organized at a temporal intervals, maybe once in a week, maybe twice in a week, so weekly or fortnightly in the world, at exactly at a particular interval of time when the markets are organized, that is periodic markets. Now here the local people from the surrounding villages, they come and meet and they fulfill their accumulated demands. That is what comes under the rural marketing. And then the periodic markets may be both in a form of what? Wholesale as well as in a form of retail. And normally in rural India, we term it as a haat. The term is very clear to you, haat, 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 or somewhere it is also termed as mandi, MANDI, mandi. Now next, urban marketing center. Now what is the basic? What is urban marketing center? Now the urban marketing center means the centers which are having much more specialized urban services. They are very much professional, they are very much specialized. Now here we are having personal and professional services, like we are having chambers of doctor, we are having the chambers of the lawyers, the financial consultants, various, all these specialized, we are having nursing homes, all the specialized activities are there which is not present in the rural marketing centers. And urban marketing centers provide manufactured goods, the finished products, manufactured goods, specialized goods, and they develop markets for labor, they develop markets of housing and semi-finished products too. So the basic difference between rural and urban marketing center, what is the basic difference? Rural marketing centers are catering the nearby settlements, and where urban marketing centers, they just provide the specialized services to the diversified urban services. Diversified, they are scattered out, they are not limited to a small settlement area. Now rural marketing center are most rudimentary type, that means most primitive type, and here they provide manufactured goods. The rudimentary, the base, the primitive. The professional and the personal services are absent or not well developed in the rural, which is too very developed in the urban marketing center. And rural centers only fulfill the local rural needs, whereas urban marketing centers, they just fulfill the wide needs of a huge demands of the urban society. So hopefully now the difference between the rural marketing center and the urban marketing center is clear to everybody. And already I explained the retail trading and the wholesale trading. Now just let us move into the next topic, that is transport. Now before going to this transport, we are having one more topic in the book, that is related to the categories of the stores. There are many types of stores. Now one is consumer cooperatives. Now consumer cooperatives means you know about the ration shops. So where everything is given at a subsidized rate. So where such type of cooperatives are there which is benefiting the society, where the basic needs are being fulfilled, or the basic products which is required for our day-to-day livelihood, that is being supplied at a subsidized or at a nominal rate or at a very low rate, that is consumer cooperatives. Next, it is departmental stores. Now departmental stores means like malls. These are departmental stores. That means within one roof we are getting each and every product of our various needs, which can be stationery, which can be grocery, which can be for our fooding, which can be for our garments or for our shoes, whatever it is, even the electronics, everything under one roof, that is termed as departmental stores. And chain stores, chain store means, suppose I am giving example, Bata. Bata, you can find out it is there in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, as well as you can find out Bata shop in Andaman and Nicobar Island group also. But that means it is located in anywhere throughout the country. But what is the main thing? That the rate which is there for the product will be the same. If it is there 900 for in the Jammu and Kashmir, it will be same for that same product 900 in the Andaman and Nicobar. So this is termed as chain store. A single company of a similar product is having a stores throughout the country. That is a chain store. So we are having three categories of store. Number 1, cooperative. Number 2, departmental. And number 3, chain stores. So hopefully it is clear. Now let us move on to the transport. Now how transport is very important. Now transport is important. Why? Because whatever the thing it is, whatever the services that we are going to conduct, it needs a huge connectivity of the better means of the transport. Whether it is a land, whether it is a water, whether it is air transport, we need the connectivity of the transportation. Okay. Now transportation is basically affected by two factors. Now one thing is very important in the transport is that it is having some thing. Now transportation is basically measured into terms of distance. Now these distances can be kilometer distance, time distance and cost distance. From my home, that is I am staying near JK College, from JK College to Assembly of God Church, how much is the kilometer? That is kilometer distance. How much time has been taken to cover that area distance is the that is the time distance, and how much cost I have to bear to cover this distance is the cost distance. So these are the three ways by which the transport can be measured, that is kilometer, time and cost. Now next, the factors that affects the transport. Now there are two basic main factors that affects the transport. That is, number 1 is the route and number 2 is the demand. Now if the demand is more, and if the demand, when the demand will be more, when the population will be large. So where the demand is more, obviously the effect of the transportational services will be more. And next comes the routes. Now routes depends upon the locality, whether it is a urbanized area, whether it is a industrial area, whether it is a simply a rural area, maybe a village, as well as it is also influenced by the nature of the landscape, whether it is a flat terrain, whether it is a uneven terrain, and the climatic condition also. If it is having a moderate climate, then the construction of the transportational network is far easier. If it is a very extreme type of climatic condition, then it will be very difficult to construct out. Like in the sandy track, it is very difficult to lay down the railway tracks. In the cold desert areas, it is very difficult to lay down the railway tracks. Even it is very difficult to construct the roadways. So the demand and the route are the two basic factors that influences the transportational network. Now next comes, then what is a network? Now network is basically a system that links the it is a what system? It's a transport system that links different places, that connects different places together to make a total one unit, or one that is what we can say one space, one organized space, that is network. A transport system that is basically connecting a vast area with a very easiest way to make a one unit, that is network. Now network is having various division. We are having when some various, now just giving an example, like if we say that if we say, just giving an example from our Purulia district, like Chowk Bazaar. If we see that Chowk Bazaar area, that entire, or simply why move to that Chowk Bazaar, our Suruchi point over there, you can find out that is considered as one node. Why? Because one road is coming from hospital, one is coming from bus stand, one is coming from circuit house, another one is coming from Bhatbad. So that is the one node where all the links are coming and joining. So that is considered, that is termed as node. And I mentioned the name of the roads, that is going to circuit house, or that is towards AG, one is going to Bhatband, another one is going to that is bus stand area, another one is going to hospital. So these are the links. So transport is having network, on the transport network are made up of two things, one is node and another one is link. So when node and link are connected by an imaginary line, that imaginary line is termed as isochrone. It is termed as isochrone line. The imaginary line that links up the nodes and the that connects the node and the link, it is termed as isochrone line. Isochrone. So hopefully it is clear that transport is a tertiary activity where basically there is a service of transporting the manufactured goods, transporting the people from one place to another, and there are various factors that influences the transport, that is demand and route, and entirely to make a one unit we term the transport as a network which is having two divisions, one is node and one is link. When node and link are connected, the imaginary line is termed as isochrone line. And the three ways to measure the transport is, one is kilometer distance, one is cost distance, and another one is time distance. Now the last topic for today's discussion is the it's not the last, it's the second last, is the communication. Now communication means it is basically connecting with the people, not personally, but it's through various sorts of ideas, transmission of words, ideas, facts. And we are having two very important that is medium or the types of services that is dealing with the communication. One is telecommunication and another one is mass communication. And one also we can term it as a personal communication and public communication. Telecommunication is can be a personal one, even it can be a public one. So we are having two categories, and these are very simple topic, like when we are connected with the newspaper, through televisions, radio, that is mass communication, and when we are connected through mobile telephone, that is with the help of the satellite, that is telecommunication. So when we are connected through the satellite mediums, that is telecommunication, and when we are connected through print media or with the help of television, radio, these are mass media. When entire huge society is being connected, that is mass, and when an individual is connected, it is a personal or the telecommunication. Even telecommunication can connect the mass also. Now next we are going to proceed with the next topic, that is services. Now services means it is where we provide different levels of services. It can be low order, it can be domestic services, it can be high order services. Now first of all, let me just say one thing, that why services has become very important in the economic development of our country. Now what is the reason behind it? What is the main reason? Because it is able to that is importance of service in the economic development. Now that is, we can see that the service sector provides more job opportunities and employment compared to the that is the other sector. And secondly, people, those who work in the service sector, they earn more because their income is especially more than that of the more than that of the primary and the secondary sector. And service sector can trade it extensively on the global scale. What does this indicate? the developing countries which are very having the poor service sector, they're a low economic development. Import services or the export in the fields various which is not so very developed in that in terms of developed countries. So we are unable to develop our economy because our percentage of the service sector is very less. So that is why we can say that the importance of service sector is more in accelerating the rate of economic development. Now, low order services, domestic services and high order services. Now, low order services means when people are engaged in that is grocery shops or in the laundries or in small shops, we term it as a low order services. Now, those who are maids in our homes, they are coming under the domestic services, and where specifically where they are engaged with the knowledge, with the skills, with the techniques, they are termed as high order services. Now, services are present in the organized sector where there are huge corporations or the big corporations. They are present in an organized sector, but there are some unorganized services also. Now, hopefully you have heard about the tiffin services of the Mumbai, which is one of the important unorganized, one of the best example of the unorganized services. They are just delivering a tiffin services to a vast or a large population, working population of the Mumbai of that Mumbai region. So that is unorganized services. So this is related to the service sector, and I discussed about the tertiary part of today's lecture, including all the topics. Now the next class will be related to the quaternary sector. So hopefully you have understood all the points, and if you are having any doubts related to any of the topics, just mention it in the comment section. Please, without any hesitation, just clarify your doubts in the comment section and up to date your work with the notes that I have uploaded in this order. And thank you for following my class. Have a nice day.